Could you tell me why pharma finds a 60-day notice of price increases problem? Is it because you don't think ahead 60 days, or is it, I mean, what's the big deal?
The question is, why is it a problem?
Why is it a problem? Why is it technically a problem for you guys to announce 60 days in advance that you're going to have a price increase? I don't understand it.
So it's a very complicated market, and I was just getting.
It's not a complicated market.
It is. It's a very complicated market, and I was actually just getting to those reasons, many of which Rocky has already mentioned. There are.
He didn't mention a single reason why it's a problem. He said it's a problem. He asserted it's a problem. He says we've only spent 5 years working on it, and we can't figure out how to give you a 60-day notice on a price increase. But he hasn't said why. Nor have you. What's the problem?
I would say, what is the solution that it offers? The solution.
Who cares? Let's say it's a stupid idea. But you're arguing that it's a problem for you to do. And I'm trying to find out what the hell is the problem about.
There's policy problems, there's legal problems, there are practical problems with this. Similar legislation was put forward in the state of California. They're looking at least 3 different approaches to a legal problem stemming from the Commerce Clause, First Amendment, 14th Amendment. Those are significant problems associated with this type of approach.
I've been studying this since 1956. It's not my first time around. I taught pharmacy administration for a decade. There is no problem, except you guys like to hide the ball.
Representative, the problem is that patients aren't getting the benefit that they should be receiving from the significant rebates and discounts that they're getting from pharmaceutical manufacturers, which was
okay. They are. Now tell me why it's a problem to announce the cost increase 60 days in advance. They are getting benefit. It's a complicated world. Life is tough. The ball took a bad hop. The sun's in your eyes. What's the problem?
Chair Greenlick, insurance companies have price protection provisions that they negotiate with manufacturers. It's not a problem because they are thoroughly insulated from any price increase. The problem is that they're not passing that along with the other rebates and discounts on to consumers. So they sit up here and point to the list price.
That's a problem. The English drive on the wrong side of the road. That's a problem for me when I'm in. These are all problems. The question, why can't you announce prices 60 days in advance?
Chair Greenlick, I think one of the challenges isn't whether you can or can't announce it, it's the risk that is accompanied with that announcement. With the growing combination between pharmacy benefit managers that are also owned by insurance companies, you have a risk of systems who can stockpile those drugs after the announcement and move the market and have the ability to pass either that cost or not pass that cost along. And then, as I mentioned, there's the antitrust risk. There is a compliance risk that as you announce your prices, you're open to the sensitivity of alleged either conscious parallelism or price signaling. So the bill in itself does create some legal and compliance risk. Whether or not you can or can't do it, it creates that risk, which should be evaluated, which has been the topic of conversation for the last 5 years, including a task force that we haven't even implemented recommendations on.
I've been listening to your guys' comments for 16 years, and generally, you're not stupid. In this case, you appear to be stupid.
So, Chair Greenlick, there's an FTC letter to the effect of what Rocky just said, addressing concerns about too much information getting out and its negative impact on competitiveness and prices. I'm happy to share that letter with you.
I'm sorry. I don't usually lose it at times like this, but 60 years of listening to this is really, I'm about fed up. So it's a good thing my career is coming to an end. I'm going to close this public hearing. Committee, I want to apologize to you for my outburst earlier. It's not, it was not appropriate behavior on the part of the chair. My level of frustration got to me, and I apologize to you. I don't apologize, however, to Pharma, who I think deserves everything they heard from me.
Chair?
Oh, yep.
Hi, Chair. I would just like to say one thing. I appreciate your apology. I accept that apology on my own behalf. I would just like to say that We have been through extensive training about equity and respectful workplace.
Absolutely.
We are working on the issues around capital culture. And what I have seen here today troubles me deeply, not because you aren't passionate about the issues, not because you don't have a right to express that passion and feel frustrated after all the years you've clearly committed to these issues, but that what I saw today was an expression of power in a way that demeaned other people from a position of power that I feel is absolutely inappropriate based on custom and past practice of this body. It is below this body. I recognize that passions sometimes get the best of us, but I just want to say for the record that I think that the most important thing that we can do moving forward is not justify this behavior with our feelings and our passions on behalf of these issues and treat all people respectfully and well. It should not be do what I say, not what I do. It should be, I intend to follow exactly the expectations of others. I will maintain those expectations of myself. So thank you for indulging me.
Well, I appreciate your comments. I would have appreciated if you came to me in private to talk about it rather than showboating here.
You showboated in this committee.
I've apologized, and that's all I can do. If you'd like me to resign as chair, that'll happen soon enough anyway. And well, that's all I can say.
So thank you all for coming. In our next wonderful Thursday meeting, we're going to have pharmacy again, another 5 bills. My request out there